Hello, everyone. My name is Todd Carricker. I'm the founder and CEO of Rhino Networks. Once again, I appreciate y'all taking the time today to attend our co-branded webinar with John from Meraki, or the Cisco side of the fence, with a segment today, and also with Noel from Boundless. He's the founder and CEO of Boundless, part of the platform that we're going to be talking about today in conjunction with our partnership and alliance on that. Quick background, most of you may have worked with us before and know a little bit about the Rhino history. Rhino is a Cisco-only partner that sells Cisco solutions, predominantly Meraki and other Cisco cloud security elements that are complementary to it. We've been a partner pre-Cisco acquisition for many, many years, late 2008, early 2009, back when Meraki was about 150 strong in totality out of the Bay Area of San Francisco. During this time, at the time we were an MSP, and fell in love with the Meraki solution, decided to kind of take it by the reins and run with it. And that's where we started Rhino, and it has kind of evolved today to where we're at. Once again, we appreciate everyone taking the time to attend. One of the things that we focus on over the years is enhanced customer experience, whether it's someone that is in a management role or the actual end user within an org. So because of those elements and pieces to it, we have looked at is automation and seamlessness for usage and less steps, and remove some manual headaches in the equation. Hence, that's why we came into interactivity with Boundless. They reached out to us. We had some dialogue. We loved what they were doing. We wanted to participate in it. So we spent time from our side working in conjunction with their team on a very refined level, and that's where we're at today. So I hope you all get some benefit and gain out of this. It should be a game changer if you're in the MSP space, or you're a professional in an org that manages multi-site locations, and the empowerment of Meraki, and along with these as added layers into the fold, it just enhances it even more. So from there, I would like to pass it off to John Hartman. Thank you for joining us today. He's got a large background himself. I'll let him hit on some key elements there if you'd like, but if not, I'm going to hand it over to John. John, thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Glad to be here with everyone. So again, my name is John Hartman. I am one of the API ninjas, or some of us Meraki SEs like to step up and do what we can to help bridge that gap between the customers and then product as well. So that's kind of my role here. But today, it's not really about me, because instead what I want to do is I want to introduce you to my friend. So this is Jacob. He works at a large company that is rapidly growing larger, both in size and the number of locations. Thankfully, they're leveraging Meraki's cloud managed infrastructure to take advantage of the single pane of glass and the zero-touch provisioning. He loves interacting with the dashboard as he goes about his job, but as simple as a Meraki magic is to harness, he's limited by the fact that he's only human. As good as he is at his job, that limitation brings with it errors and inefficiencies that are preventing him from scaling to meet the needs of the business. Jacob is used to the endless loop of standard network lifecycle activities. Right? He's also aware of the secondary tasks that come with it. And maybe you're like Jacob, with your relevance and responsibilities growing as quickly as your company's revenue. You know your job, you know the network, and you're ready to take things to the next level. Now, I'd like to introduce you to a programmability story here, because everybody starts their Meraki journey using Meraki's single pane of glass intuitive web interface. From there, we establish processes, we generate workflows, we create use cases, and lay out the foundation for our interactions with a network. Meraki infrastructure includes functionality that customers would normally need additional appliances for. You can do protocol analysis without NetFlow, packet captures without an external sniffer, RF analysis without a fluke meter, cable tests without a probe, centralized logging without a syslog server, and other network functions. But the days are gone where it's acceptable for a network to merely send and receive data. Modern infrastructure should be capable of providing tangible business value and turn IT from a cost center into a critical component of business. In addition to these network functions, Meraki includes some business functions like location analytics, motion heat maps, and energy saving analytics. This is a great start, but it unveils a truth, a conclusion that we all figure out eventually. Data is the next gold rush. The acquisition of data, the processing of data, the sending of data, and one of the many benefits of the Meraki full stack is that there is an abundance of data. We make that data openly available to you to extend into whatever use case best accelerates your business. Now, there's multiple aspects to the Meraki API, right? There's the dashboard API, and this is where things like provisioning and monitoring and reporting and things are done. Now, there's different actions you can take. You can read data, you can write data. All right, but that dashboard API, that's where most people cut their teeth, and it's probably a good 70% of the use cases revolve around the dashboard API. Additionally, there's webhooks. So, with APIs, you're reaching out to the remote system and you're using those familiar set of technologies that the web uses, right? We're using HTTP verbs. We're using TLS encryption, right? But instead of HTML, we're talking JSON. All right, with API, you're reaching out to the remote side. Webhooks are an event-driven methodology, and they're reaching out to you. And they let you know, hey, this event happened, or this threshold has been violated. Right? So in the case of Dashboard API, that's you running a script or something. Webhooks, again, reaches out to you. So in old school parlance, Dashboard API would kind of be like an SNMP GET, whereas webhooks would be more like an SNMP trap, right? Or syslog message, etc. The difference is, again, it's JSON formatted, so it's not only human readable, it's easily machine parsable. Now, additionally, there's the captive portal APIs, and that gives you the ability to extend the connectivity. So we're used to going into somewhere, want to jump on the guest wireless, the captive network portal pops up, we smash that OK button to accept the terms of use, whether or not we read them, and then boom, we're on the Wi-Fi. But what if you want to take it to the next level and say, hey, you know what? I've got an MDU, an apartment complex or something, or whatever scenario, or I want to extend that functionality. Instead of just having somebody accept the terms of use, I want to say, you know what? Send me your username and password. And then that way customers can then integrate it with their backend processes and look at their customer database and say, okay, did they authenticate properly? Are they up to date on their bills? Have they exceeded their usage allocation, etc., and go through that business logic and return an answer back to Meraki and say, okay, you know what? Everything checks out. We're going to let them on the network. That's the magic of the Captive Portal API. MVSense, on the other hand, extends the functionality of the cameras. So at that point, you can actually get information from the camera like, okay, well, how many people do you see? And what are the XY coordinates of those people? And recall, if you've got multiple samples, now you can tell things like speed and directionality of those objects. But also the light levels, the sound levels, things like that. I talked about how data is the next gold rush. Think about what you can correlate with this. All right, if it's 3 a.m. and my smart lighting says that the building lights are off, okay, well, now that I know that everything should be shut down and all is well. But let's say all of a sudden the light level shoots up on one camera and goes back down, as does the noise level. That's an explosion. Let's say that the light levels slowly start growing, but the sound level really doesn't. Okay, that's a fire. Okay, let's say the light goes up a little bit on one camera, goes down, up a little bit on another camera, goes down. Okay, now somebody's in your building with a flashlight, and it's time to let facilities or security know. That's the kind of stuff that MVSense can tell you, not just through APIs and webhooks and things, but also it will spit out that data 4 times a second via MQTT if you want real-time analytics to go with it. That's why a lot of times we refer to the cameras as optical sensors. And then lastly, location analytics. So as long as you have a device that's spitting out some kind of RF, usually in the form of something like Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, if there's at least 3 access points that can hear that, not only do we run that math and crunch those numbers and put it within the dashboard for location analytics, we can give you that information in a well-formatted JSON payload. So every 60 seconds, we will let you know where those clients are. So again, data is the next gold rush. We go out of our way to expose that data and make it available to you to extend your business logic and get, again, tangible business value from it. Now, maybe you've got Python chops, right? And you're ready to step into that world yourself. You can go to Meraki.io. That's our developer portal right now. Again, that URL is Meraki.io. and it will walk you through all these use cases along with sample code and a GitHub repository and live documentation where you can actually interact with those APIs. There's a preloaded API key there so you can test things out. Or maybe you do have the Python chops and you don't necessarily have the time, or maybe you don't have the skill set in order to construct something. That's where option two comes in, and you can leverage Meraki's ecosystem of partners. So there is a long, rich history of partners interacting with the Meraki APIs to bring additional business value and simplify your business so you can focus on what really matters to you, which may or may not be the running of a network. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually hand it back to our friends at Rhino Networks, and they're going to talk a little bit more about this integration that they have with our friends at Boundless.
Hey, John, thank you so much. John literally just kind of hit the surface of it. Like the API component that's been going on in the marketplace of Cisco Meraki for a while has grown and grown and evolved and evolved. It's become more powerful, more meaningful, and there's a lot of time and attention put into it. Kind of like John said, real quick. From a business owner perspective, I'm like, hey, this sounds easy peasy. Python, hell, I could probably learn it. Well, looked at it for a few minutes. I'm like, nope, not gonna happen. Not my cup of tea, not my arena. So it became even more exciting and amazing with this this introduction and connection with Boundless, specifically with Noel from Boundless as an owner and founder himself. And you could see the pride and the interest and the determination involved with his team, and just really caring and wanting it to be a great solution and seamless. So this really kind of goes hand in hand well with kind of the API strategy that's been going on in and around Meraki solutions. And for us, since we're such a big advocate of Meraki and our business focus and what we do with our clientele as far as the value benefit of single pane of glass and more of a simplified management approach for multi sites and whatever else, but also licensing stuff. It can be complicated, but it doesn't have to be complicated now because of Boundless Digital. Like it's really, really that special. So that being said, the man, the myth, the legend, Noel, him and his crew, by the way, they are not in the United States. They are in France. So it's later at night for them, but they love this stuff as much as we do. We drank the Boundless Kool-Aid, and we plan on drinking more of it and doing more with our customers. And I hopefully you'll all see and agree with the power and benefit of using their tool. So that being said, Noel, floor is yours, bud.
Thanks a lot, Todd. That's an amazing intro. I'm pretty shy now, but I'm gonna do my best. Yeah, Todd is right. We are based in France, but we are working all the business hours, like you can imagine. So like whether you east or west or even Australia, we got you covered. I'm gonna share my screen, and I'm gonna walk you through some slides. But I wanna the first thing I wanna talk about is about what John just mentioned, because not everybody is Jacob. So if you are interested in learning more about Meraki APIs and how to use those APIs and just get an introduction of this pretty complex subject, you can attend our crash course. It's a 9 days crash course, and it's obviously free, and it's going to give you all the tools, all the things that you need to know about the Meraki APIs, and if you wanna get started. And obviously at some point you're probably going to realize it is super complicated, and you're probably gonna need some help, and we're gonna be there for you. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about Boundless. I'm gonna present who we are, what we have built, and then I'm gonna make a specific focus on a product that is it's something that I'm really proud of, because it's something that we have co-developed with our friends at Rhino, and we leverage the Meraki APIs for that. So I'm going to talk about this at the end, and then I'm gonna let Todd finish with what we have to offer today. So like Todd mentioned, I am the co-founder and CEO of Boundless. I'm actually a former Cisco and Meraki guy. Nobody's perfect, but I learned a lot of key stuff over there, and I decided to leave Cisco and create Boundless because I really wanted to create something within the Cisco environment, and I saw a lot of opportunities around Meraki specifically, and the usage of Meraki APIs. So a picture worth a thousand words. So basically, our ambition is to turn this. So this is your Cisco Meraki solutions into this. So what we are doing is that we are leveraging the Meraki APIs, and we are obviously teaming up with Rhino to provide value on top of Meraki solutions. And we're basically not changing anything from the original solutions. We're just making them better and making sure that you can make the most of them by just getting more value to it by simply being more performant, more efficient, more automated, and we try to make it super simple so that it is easy to use. So concretely, what we have done is that we have developed a platform. It's a SaaS platform where we have come up with different kind of tools to address different kind of use cases, and the idea here is to make sure that we can simplify daily operations for any type of Cisco Meraki infrastructure. So whether you are an MSP handling multiple orgs, multiple networks, or multiple devices, or you are a Meraki customer with a Meraki organization or several networks and devices, we have everything that you may need for your day to day. So concretely, in terms of solutions, I'm not going to spend too much time talking about all of them because I could last for hours. But like I mentioned, we have a solution to address different kind of use cases. So to give you some examples, our historical solutions are around the guest Wi-Fi part. So what we are doing is that we are providing advanced authentication methods. We are providing solutions to collect marketing data. We have automation solutions to automate the deployment of Meraki networks, automating the configuration changes, making sure that you can audit all your networks and security rules, for instance, to make sure that you have everything that is compliant for your in your infrastructure. We have a migration tool that's going to help you move devices and networks. We also have an access control solution, so where we basically have built an RBAC capability on top of a Meraki native solution. So for that, we are leveraging obviously the Meraki APIs, and we are providing a way for MSPs that are doing co-management projects to provide granular access on the Meraki dashboard. And obviously, that's definitely something that is interesting when you want to have more control over your user and basically more security on who is connecting to your Meraki dashboard. So as you can see, we have a new solution around licensing. So I'm gonna talk about this now. So it is really something that you're gonna have to try, and you're definitely gonna have you're gonna see some value, because what we have done is that like I said, we teamed up with Rhino and obviously Cisco Meraki to come up with a solution that will definitely fit MSPs and Cisco customers' needs around licensing. We knew for a long time that licensing was a key challenge, was pretty tedious. I know I'm being recorded here, but Meraki licensing, it is difficult and is complicated to handle. So we, in our approach of making MSPs and Meraki customers' life easier, we try to come up with an idea on like how we could just like streamline the management of Meraki licenses. And I'm glad that the guys at Rhino trusted us for that, because it was kind of like difficult for Anthony, Colleen, and Ricky at the beginning to trust a crazy Frenchman with a weird French accent, with this crazy idea of like automating the management of the licensing, the Meraki licensing. But they obviously saw the potential, and I'm really grateful for that. They saw a way for them as a Meraki distributor to do things differently, to kind of like think out of the box. And Todd mentioned it. Automating processes, operations is definitely something that will make them stand up from the rest of the pack. And we decided to work together on this tool. And basically what we wanted to do is alleviate most of the pains that we were seeing in the process. So in terms of tracking all the licenses, so that was definitely something tedious. Just making sure that you have a complete visibility of all the expiring licensing. Sometimes if you were forgetting some licenses, you could have some issue with your network being down, because Meraki equipments are great, but if they don't have a license, they're not going to work. So you lose the Meraki magic, and you basically lose the access to your network, which could be a problem. But it's not only that, we also identify a key challenge on the renewal process, and this is really where the Rhino folks helped us figure out how we could make it more seamless. And they already came up with a system to make sure that their customers were able to get the best guidance and assistance to order some licenses. But there were still some remaining issues in the process, because there was still some manual tasks you had to do, like submitting your license queues, submitting the customers, the end customers' information. So everything that Meraki or Cisco needs to process the order. So we decided to come up with a solution to address all of these challenges, making sure that you could have a dashboard, you can have access to everything in a single pane of glass. Obviously, gathering all the data using the Meraki APIs, because that's the power of the Meraki APIs, to be able to collect data automatically. So obviously, you can avoid the human error, which is normal, but it's when you have lots of queues, lots of information, you're obviously going to make some error at some point, and there could be some damages for your organization. So leveraging the Meraki APIs for that was a great choice. And then obviously we leverage our expertise to build products, to make sure that we could come up with the right dashboard for that. And then we finally integrated into Rhino's backend to make sure that customers could have and users could have a seamless experience between the tracking and the renewal of the licenses. So concretely, this is how it looks like, and I'm not gonna demo it today, because I want you guys to try it. So I'm just gonna like raise your interest by showing some print screens. But the first part of the dashboard is around the management of those licenses. So we have here built a dashboard where you're gonna have access to all your organizations. You can see all the devices in them. You can see whether they are in Coterm or PDL. We can handle both licensing model. You can quickly see and sort by the expiration date, so you can tell right away which networks or which orgs have expired license, or have licenses that will be expired soon. You're gonna have the license informations right away, so there's no way you can get it wrong when you're going to renew those licenses. So that's really important, because having to handle an RMA is difficult, it's tedious, and I know Rhino guys are avoiding this kind of uh, problems by actually calling every single customer when they process an order. So that was pretty impressive. So that's a great process, but that's something that will take some time. So in order to avoid wasting anybody's time, you can have access to the information right away, and everything is centralized in a single dashboard. So that's what's pretty awesome. So once you are done with like kind of like managing and just like having this visibility, you can start the renewal process. And as you can see, it's pretty simple. You just have a renew button, so you just select the licenses that you want to renew. And basically, what's gonna happen is that we're gonna automatically create an order, a card, sorry, for the renewal of the licenses. So as you can see, automatically will put the right licenses, the right duration, and if you want to change and update your licenses from 1 year to 3 years, you're gonna automatically gonna be able to do this. Automatically, you're gonna be able to see the pricing because we have an integration with Rhino pricing, and basically that's about it. So you're gonna have the ability to put the end user information so that all these informations can be transmitted. And once you are done with this, you're gonna be redirected to the billing part, where basically you're gonna be redirected to Rhinos directly, and you're gonna be able to get the order processed through Rhino, get and receive in a few days the licenses, and you're gonna be able to activate those licenses. So overall, we definitely have a solution that is simple, fast, and reliable. It is simple because it's giving you a way to easily track the expiration dates, and it is fast because, as you can see, the renewal process is less and less tedious. It's just way more simple. It's kind of like making you happy to spend some money buying those licenses, because it is super simple and super fast. And obviously, it is really reliable because we are relying on the Meraki APIs for that, and we are reducing the order errors. We are reducing the human error, and we're just making your life better. So. In order to finish, I'm gonna pass the ball back to Todd. I think I'm kind of like done with my presentation. As you can see, we have tried to simplify the license tracking and the renewal process. I want you to be able to try on your own. So I'm gonna let Todd close this. But if you want any information, you can go to our website. You can also check our socials. We have webinars, upcoming webinars with Meraki. So feel free to register to those webinars. If you want to get in touch with us, just send us an email, give us a call, and I'll pass on to Todd to finish this presentation and webinar. Thank you all.
Noel, thanks, buddy. That was fantastic. One housekeeping item real quick before I kind of hit on a couple of elements with time permitting. There is a Q&A section, bottom right-hand corner, ellipsis. There's like 3 dots you can click on. The Rhino team and the Boundless team are there to field any kind of questions you have. But I want to go back to one thing I think that's instrumental in kind of this collaboration piece here. I think the background in which Boundless comes from is a huge component of where this sits today. It was kind of a scenario with licensing and it being kind of cumbersome or convoluted or complicated for people to digest and understand. Even if they were, someone that had been in the tech space for many years, right? Like it still can kind of be blurred or confusing, right? Even experts struggle at times, right? So that being said, I think he saw a pain point and he got in front of the pain point. Like that was something him and his team, took with pride and passion. But I think the other thing that resonated with me as a founder in an org is you could hear the passion and enthusiasm, but across this entire team, like it's so uniform. It's. But the thing that really hit home even further with me was they were doing it because they cared about giving someone better quality activities in their daily lives in their role, right? It wasn't purely a business model. It's like, how do I enhance this person's daily activities? If I can make their day or what they're responsible for or whom they answer to easier, cleaner, and just much more pleasant, think out how that impacts them on a personal level too. Family, friends, health, sanity, whatever it may be, right? Like that's what hit home with me big time. By the way, apparently earlier on, or early stages, he reached out to me directly and I didn't see it. The joke is I ignored him, whatever. So he was creative and he went to Anthony Gates, who has been heavily involved and he's part of the Rhino team. He's also the EVP of Rhino and general manager. And so he went through him and then did his own diligence before, presented it to myself and the rest of the Rhino management team. I'm like, where on earth has this stuff been? This is fabulous. And from there, I'm like, and I'm still the joker on the deal because I ignored him. But that was something that was really cool. The other thing too, two things I want to point out: the licensing management component, phenomenal. But there's another thing they have in their portfolio or lineup. I know it wasn't talked about today, but it's also a very useful tool for anyone that might need aid or assistance. They have the ability to help do migrations too within Meraki's platform for stuff that could be a little bit more kind of off the norm for most, but it does exist. It does come up, so on and so forth. But anyways, that being said, couldn't be more grateful to work with everyone involved here. We're in it and committed to continuing to grow it and foster it. One other thing I'd like to hit on too, Boundless does offer free trials, okay, of their platform and solution. It's a no strings, no baloney, no fuss, no muss play too. It's literally no credit card required. They are very hands-on as far as helping you onboard because they want to ensure the success, exposure, and feel of it. But they're literally there's as low key as you get in the space. So I highly recommend, if this would be something of benefit to you, which I think for most of you that joined today, obviously you liked what you read, so it probably is. I highly encourage that you reach out, and whether it's through Rhino or through Boundless, either way, it doesn't matter to us. We're here to help because the trial is a great way to go. Next thing, thank you for taking the time today. We always like to do some goodies and giveaways and whatever else. So on a couple of housekeeping items here to wrap up, we are doing a recording of this, so we will send it out to all attendees with any other relevant information that might be helpful as far as contacts and such for links and trials. But also, we like giving away goodies for taking the time as a just added bonus for doing such today. So make sure to check out Rhino does regular events on a regular basis, whether it's co-branded webinars, our own stuff, videos, tutorials, whatever. Check us out online. But also, for everyone that attended today, your name's going to be entered into a drawing, and we're going to be giving away one. The top prize is a MacBook Pro. We got a pair of Beats headphones or AirPod Pros. It's your choice, if based on who's drawn for that particular item. We got a $100 Visa gift card, and then we also have a Rhino swag bag that we're going to do as a giveaway. For anyone that takes the time as an added perk in the equation to show the value prop of the Boundless platform and solution that we're talking about today, if you set up and light up an active trial with Boundless, you will get one extra entry into the drawing as well, for the MacBook Pro itself. So, can't hurt to do it. It's obviously something of value. That's why we took the time, energy, and effort to set this up and tee it up today. And at this point, I am going to pause for a moment and see if we have any questions in the Q&A from the respective teams of things that could be answered.
You need to ask a question to get the MacBook, or you don't need to?
Do you need to ask a question? Hey, surely someone's got, like, I mean, I see some chats and questions going on. I wasn't necessarily, let's see.
So in the Q&A, there was a question about if boundless licensing included an offering that may specifically appeal to SMBs. I think the answer right there is that both Rhino and Boundless have built the solution together, priced and architected for any size organization, right? Obviously, the larger your Meraki footprint, the more networks and locations that you're managing. Obviously, that's where the bigger ROI comes from, but taking the pain out of licensing at any level, it still has its value, we think.
Yeah, and honestly, I think for most size entities or consumers of this product or platform, I think the price point, and from my perspective and all the things I've seen in the years as far as offerings and solutions in generalized terms, the entry point is definitely moderate and reasonable, without a doubt. Especially if you're an MSP and you've got a plethora of clients that you manage through Meraki environments and infrastructures, or multi-site for that matter. I mean, it's time is money. Whether it's more time for you personally and recreationally to go see a sporting event, go swing the clubs on the golf course, go to the spa, yoga, exercise, whatever it may be, right? Like, I mean, it's that, or more free time in your day to focus on other projects or initiatives that you keep having to kick to the back burner because it's a time suck, it's a consumption, right? So there's one thing in life you can't get more of, and that's time. This aids with giving a little bit back. So or if we have no more questions, we can give you 19 minutes back in your day now, if that works. I'm just going to pause for about another minute or so and let's see. But thank you again for taking the time today. Hope it brought meaningful value to you and was worth the time spent doing such, to hear about what's going on with this integration and relationship. Going once. Going twice. Sold. That's it. We'll send out the recording to everyone. Thank you again for the time and hope you have a great rest of the day, no matter where you're at, even in France.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.